So now we have spoken of our two technologies, XQR41 and the Ultimus Plus. Both of these technologies are contact dispense mechanisms itself. So essentially what I'm saying is that you need to bring the dispensing tape, which is being used to process the medium from the dispensing technology onto your substrate in a very close proximity to the substrate and allowing the capillary reaction to draw the fluid from the end of the dispense tape onto the substrate itself. Now, we will also look at a couple of other technologies which are our non-contact way of processing the same medium. The first one, which I will touch upon, is our 781 mini spray valve. As the name suggests, it's basically a spray valve. Again, going by the same innovation which we have done on the XQR41, where the footprint is almost 60% smaller than our traditional spray valve. It allows you to put these valves in very tight spaces at different orientation, having multiple valves in on a line where previously, just because of the size of it, you could only fit a few. It gives you the opportunity of increasing your production runs, your production, your cycle times, your processing times exponentially. But that's not the only USP of this particular valve. I'll speak to two on this one as well. One, the fluid path on this particular valve is modular. So in that instance where you need to clean the fluid path of the valve after a usage of, depending on the type of material you are processing through the valve itself, you don't have to take the whole valve of the machine. You can just take the fluid path off. It helps you two ways. One, if there was any alignment issue that you were trying to sort of like process the medium in a very strategic location on your substrate, and alignment was a considerable thing to do, you don't have to realign the valve again. The valve, once positioned in a specific place, it will always be there. The second thing, or the second USP, which I really think it's very important in terms of the function feature set of this particular valve, is that we can now spray very uniform patterns as wide as 1 millimeter in width. Again, when it comes to precision spraying of these mediums, that was something which was almost unheard of up until a few years ago. So that's another technology which is being used in the manufacturing processes of ablation catheters across the board in different geographies amongst many different medical device manufacturing customers we service today. Swiftly moving on, and then there is another technology which is our Pico pulse valve. In common terms, we typically in our internal discussions, we refer to this as an industrialized version of an inject printhead. It's not spraying, it's actually ejecting a certain volume of fluid in the atmosphere to go onto your substrate. Again, I can speak to our Pico valves at length, but just because of the brevity of this particular video, I'll just speak to a couple of functions or features for this particular valve. One, it's you can really process your mediums, when I say mediums, your fluids, at really high speeds. This particular valve offers 1,000 hertz of continuous frequency, so you can actually put 1,000 shots within the second. It also offers you heat regulation on the valve, so you can actually apply temperature to the fluid which is sitting in the valve itself. Helps you two ways. One, if the environment, the one you are using this particular technology in, is non-temperature controlled and the temperature fluctuates, which can have an effect on the viscosity of the material which you're trying to basically process, and that may have an effect on the volume you are dispensing. You take the variation out by applying a steady temperature to the fluid in the valve, hence giving you the repeatable, accurate dispensing, irrespective of the temperature environment in which you're currently working. The second thing, as common in XQR41 or 781 mini valve, our jet valve also offers a modular fluid path. So again, you don't have to take the valve of the machine in order for you to clean it. alignment of the valve to a particular strategic location doesn't need to be changed. You can just take the fluid path off. Typically, mostly our customers will have multiple fluid bodies for either XQR41 or 781 Mini or Pico Pulse, which they will change the time they need to basically clean the wetted parts itself, hence reducing the downtime to be just literally within seconds.